Happy morning, dear friends. Here's yours, Dr. Rajanta. Welcome to Demystify with Ajay. Dear friends, in the previous session, we saw how the missing values are generated with the data frame. And once their presence has been ascertained, there are several solutions to how to manage them. Broadly speaking, they can be grouped into two different approaches. One is, of course, we can remove them, or next let me just fill them with other values. Okay, so now in this regard, exactly, there is a pandas library provides a whole series of method and functions that allow us to perform operations on NaN values. Of course, there are so many things are there. Of course, we are just going to see one by one as like is null, not null, drop NA. So here it is a drop NA is there. Of course, fill NA. So let me just see one by one. First, it will be necessary to check the presence of missing value and their position in the data frame structure. In the real world, data frames reach enormous sizes with thousands of rows and columns, making it impossible to search visually. In this regard, there are a number of functions that come to our aid. If you want to count the total number of missing values within a data frame or limitedly a specific column, you can use the count non-zeros. Okay, so that function of numpy is conjunctions with the is null method. Okay, now let's reload the data from the country.csv file for our example. And let me just have 8. This is the exact data frame. And of course, let me just to check how many NaN values are present in this data frame. We therefore use the combination of this count non-zero and is null function. Okay, so let me just make use of it and kindly have a note of it. How many are there? So here we are just going to see there are three NaN values, that is three missing values, 1 and here it is 2 and of course 3. Okay, so if instead we want to know the number of missing values limited to a column or which we are just going to see is particular to that column. So here in area we are having 2 missing values. Of course, if we want to make it particular to that column, we can just specify and we can get the number of missing values. And dear friends, another way is to use the method that is exactly which we are just going to use is value counts. This exact method on a series, of course we can make use of the same thing. So same here as an area, a particular area as like in a series, we can just get it done. So see here we are having missing value of 2 values is there. So you get a frequency table of values within the data frame, including those missing values also, that is NaN value. And next, one of the 2 possible approach while dealing with the presence of missing values within our data frame is to remove them. In fact, we often do not know or want to manage this missing information, and therefore it is better to delete it. In this regard, this drop NA method can be used to eliminate the missing values. So exactly, I just execute this and kindly have a note of it. The value which had the missing value, the whole rows, okay, so where all the rows with even a single missing value have been removed. So this drop NA method can also work more loosely, telling it to only drop lines where all values are NaN. So this is possible by passing that, of course you can just use how in that parameter, you can just specify all. Okay, fine. Now let me just move on to the filling of missing values. And dear friend, this is the exact other approach instead to enhance the missing value with other appropriate values. In this case, you can use the fill NA. So kindly have a note of it. This is the fill NA method to replace the missing value with another value, passing it as an argument. For an example, if you want to replace all the NaNs in the data frames with the empty value, yeah, we can just directly make it, yeah, whether if it is full, if all empty. So see here, this is the NaN, and of course here it is the NaN, just an empty. Okay, so we will get a data frame in which all NaN, that is the missing values, have been replaced with the string empty. It is also possible to specify a different value to be used in the place of that missing, okay, specifically for each column. So in that case also, of course, kindly just see here, we are having population, there is one empty is there. Area, there is one empty is there. So wherever, if you want to particularly, okay, particularly towards the exact column, yeah, in that case you can just make it a dictionary is passed as an argument. So in our case, we will insert in the dictionary as the key the name of the column containing the null value, and as value, the value to be used in their place. So kindly just to see here, once after making this, yeah, kindly observe what we have before and once after having this. So see here, this population here, it is 0.0. So in this place, the 0.0 has been replaced. Okay, yeah, and of course, dear friends, this method return a copy of a referenced object, but they can be applied directly to the calling data frame if we specify the optional in place parameter set to true. Okay, kindly just have a note of it, dear friends. Here, if I just make anything related to this in place true, yeah, it would be modified into the previous. So I just make it as a command. Okay, yeah, let me just move on to the next one. So dear friends, actually remaining in the approach of replacing the missing values, there is also the possibility of inserting values that try to follow the trend of the other elements of the column. There are two possible ways that allow these possibilities. That is, one is fill forward and fill backward. And in fill forward, the last known values is used to fill in the missing values. Okay, so in this case, yeah, we are just going to use this fill NA method, but we specify the optional method parameter to indicate the specific method. Okay, so which is in case, yeah, we are just going to make use of the method is fill forward. Okay, so let I just use this, and kindly have a note of it, dear friends. As we can see, this each missing values here is missing values, whichever has been, it is replaced by the previous row values in the same column. So here it is the previous row, and of course that value has been replaced here, and of course this is what 242 has been replaced towards here to the next row, and here of course this in the population, yeah, here towards the Sweden, yeah, it is replaced with the previous value of the same row. Okay, same column. Okay, as for the fill backward, the behavior is opposite. So it will be the value of the next row to replace the missing value. To set this, yeah, you can just make use of the filling backward. Okay, so kindly have a note of it. So this one, kindly see, this is 67 has been replaced here to the previous. So that is the backward. And of course, towards this 450 has been filled here, and 1010 has been filled in the Japan. That is the area of Japan. So as we can see from the result, in this case, the missing values will be replaced with the values of next row in the same column. So the two approaches just seen are some of the possibilities that can be applied with the pandas library. And for example, you can replace this NaN value, that is the missing value, with the result of column value statistics. So calculated directly by the fill NA method. Okay, and of course with the methods such as mean or median as the argument of the method, yeah, you can just make use of it. So here we are going to make use with the mean value, and yeah, I execute it. Kindly have a note of it, dear friends. So see here, yeah, we can see from the result the missing values has been replaced with the average of the values present in the corresponding column. So of course, if we are just having this area, yeah, all this area, the area of the values has been done, and yeah, it is the average has been identified and it is placed here. And kindly just see, this is also samely placed here and to the next value. Okay, now next, yeah, still continuing with the different possibilities of managing the approach to replace the missing value. Yeah, it is interpolate. Interpolate must also be considered. Okay, so this technique uses the values in the common to fill in the missing value with calculated value to interpolate the trend of the values in the column. So to do this, yeah, we are just going to make use of the interpolate method. Okay, so here kindly have a note of it, how the interpolation happen. Yeah, by default the interpolation in the pandas fills the value linearly, but here too you can change this behavior by adding the optional method parameter or specifying the interpolate method. Like that also you can just make use of it. Okay, now let me just move on to the next one, that is conversion of data type in the presence of that missing value. Dear friends, actually finding ourselves working with this missing value, it can often happen that we are faced with unexpected behavior. First, we see that there are can be several ways to express missing values. As like that, yeah, we have just discussed as none is there, and of course from the numpy we just made NA, and even though this NA, that is NAN, it is from the pandas, yeah, we just seen. But if we pass it inside some list of the values, for an example integer, yeah, we are just going to see something related to that. Okay, so kindly just have a note of it. This is what the series. Okay, and yeah, we are just going to pass this by using this none. Okay, kindly have a note of it, what we are just getting here. So this is the exact series which we are having, a none value here it is there, and of course here in the numpy usage of numpy library, yeah, and none has been included, and of course here it is just a series. Okay, so as we can see from this two regarding this none and NP none, there was an implicit casting which caused our integer here just 1.0 and 5.0. Actually, what we have just done 1, 4, 5, 12 we have just specified, but here we just got as like floating, that is converted into floating numbers. But whereas here in PD, that is pandas, NA, we have a different behavior. Kindly have a note of it. So here I'm just going to have, this is the series. So it is exactly an integer. Okay. So if we pass a list of integer to the series constructor, we have as a result the recognition of those values as an integer. So the data type here, it is int64. But if there is a null value using the from the pandas, okay, so within the list, then all the values will be converted to the generic data type. So kindly observe. So it is of course a generic data type here. So generic data type, of course, it is object. And yeah, to overcome this problem, we define the type of data we want in the optional data type parameter of the series constructor. So kindly have a note of it. Here we are included this one D type in 64. So when on just making this, so if we are having two, so this is inclusion of pandas, and here we are having none, and here we are having a numpy NAN values. So kindly just have a note of it. We are having the D type functionality. So this is the optional parameter where every one or every data type defined in the data we want it in a integer. And another method is to convert the list into Python integer array objects. To do this, kindly just use array. So here we are having the array functionality, and when we just make use of that, so in this method, the list of a Python integrated array object. So to do this, yeah, we are just going to use the array function passing it in the list as an argument. So this is the exact list. We are just going to pass it to the argument. And yeah, kindly have a note of it, how it is just going to see. So see here, this is what the missing. Here it is a missing data, and here there is a 2 missing data is there. Of course, if we just have a floating, so kindly have a note of it. Of course, it is of float 64. Yeah, it is a float data type. And even though we just have the exact missing values here. And as we can see, dear friend, from the result, the system is perfectly capable of recognizing different type of missing values and adapt them from time to time. Okay, so in same goes for the list of Boolean values in which missing values are present, if in the case. So kindly have a note of it, how we are just going to make use of it. So here we go. So here it is of none. So towards this, we are studying the conversion of data during the transition from the list to the series. So in this manner, yeah, even though if we are just making towards the NumPy and the pandas NA, kindly observe the exact difference. Yeah, even though here it is NaN and the data type is object. And let me just move on to the next one towards the pandas NA. Yeah, here we go. And dear friends, as we can see in all these cases, there is no recognition of Boolean data type, and there is a conversion of the values passed as generic data type object. Also, in this case, the type of data can be defined in the constructor. How we are just going to do? Yeah, of course, the data type is equal to Boolean. So if in the sense, yeah, kindly have a note of it. Yeah, here we just got. So when we just make use of that functionality even once after making this. So kindly observe, here we have an panda data type, and here it is none, and here NumPy functionality. So here we just get the data type as Boolean. Yeah, so there is a correct data conversion happened. Okay, dear friends, yeah, I hope you found this video helpful in gaining a solid foundation in using this pandas for how to handle the missing data. And remember to practice what you have learned and explore further to deepen your understanding. Don't forget to like and share the channel. Kindly just subscribe the channel for latest updates. See you in the next video. Thank you, dear friends. Happy learning.